Ah, pretty close.
Shout out Pearl Harbor, by the way. Whoop, whoop.
Hello and welcome. We're back from theballerlifestyle.com. It's the Baller Lifestyle Podcast. My name is Brian Beckner. Thank you for joining us. Episode number 562 of the podcast show, the pod show. We appreciate you listening. Thank you for being friends with us. If you would like to reach out, I always give you the ways at the beginning of the show. Mailbag at theballerlifestyle.com is the email address. Additionally, you can call us and leave us a voicemail, 949-464-TBLS. Possible Red Circle people, look, could be some changes coming to the Red Circle page soon. It could be becoming a Patreon page. But what I'll try to do is maintain both for a while we merge everybody over, because I don't want you to get fucked. But if you just spent $50 and I move it to Patreon right after you spent $50, then just let me know and I'll pay you back the $50. Good for it. I am joined now, as always, by Mr. Ed Daly. Ed, how the fuck are you, buddy?
Doing well. I still use Twitter strictly for sports, but the algorithm pops certain things in. And this week,
death and murder, is it people falling off buildings and shit? Because that's what I see when I go on there. I go on there exclusively to post the podcast, my Silver Point sports picks, and to tell Telly he's a drunk, and that's it. That's all I do there, and I always see somebody get murdered. Are you having the same problem?
It involves Telly, but it has
does it?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I guess because I'm very charmed by him, he just pops up into my feed all the time.
He's great.
It's always never drinking again, fam. Whatever. Right. I love it. I
remember when he got banned.
Yeah.
He was banned from 3 burrito places in town. How many burrito places are there in Fort Collins, Colorado? He's banned from 3 of them. He was having to use his brother's DoorDash to get burritos from one place because he was banned from there.
So, and also update for our Colorado listeners. Yeah. There's a chance I go to Colorado to visit the sister this summer. So I will try to meet some of you peeps.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go there.
Yeah.
I want to move there. Honestly.
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Yes. There. Somebody find me a job and a bungalow in or around the Denver area. Mm-hmm. My daughter's graduating high school. I have no chains anymore, and it's too fucking expensive to live where I live. Okay, go on, Ed. We're digressing. What about Telly?
So the algorithm knows me, and it knows me to the point that I'm charmed by Telly because it feeds me a million things on Maryland basketball, Commanders. It feeds me everything, and it feeds me Telly. And Telly clearly is way into this, and I guess the world is, and I'm learning through Telly because I keep seeing clips that he's into about this Montoya character, which it's Telemundo or
Juan Pablo Montoya, the former F1 driver that moved to NASCAR, the Colombian. He was fucking great.
I love
Juan Pablo Montoya. Yeah,
I keep seeing clips. So there's either I don't know if this is Mexican reality TV or if this is Telemundo, but it's clips and there's some sort of Love Island type thing, and they make the guy watch somebody else hooking up with a chick, and there's a guy screaming and running around. And
they cuckold him. They cuckold the guy,
and I have no idea what's going on. I know that Telly's way into it, and I have seen
because he's a cuck.
I've seen 8 clips this week. I just go on, I'm like, let me see some sports shit going on. And it's Telly commenting on this Montoya character. And please let me know what the fuck's going on. It's hilarious because this isn't I don't, I know you guys do your bachelor lifestyle and I'm sure it's great. But from what I've watched of that show, they don't show people fucking. This show, you see under the covers, like they're fucking, and they're making the dude watch it from like the beach.
And this is
like they have a TV on the
And
beach,
what show-
and the guy's
you
like,
don't know what
no, and I have no
You
idea
don't-
what it is. It's if you Google, and you know, I'm sure some of you are like, yeah, this is the biggest thing on the internet, but if you Google Montoya reaction, it's just a dude who's like watching someone he cares about getting fucked. It's the most bizarre thing. And Telly has me just getting algorithms that they know I like Telly. They're showing me Montoya stuff all the time. And I had no idea what it's from, what it is, but you can, and obviously, like, I've forgotten all my AP Spanish, so I don't even know what they're saying, but you know what's going on. It's a guy being forced to watch someone have sex with a girl.
I think Telly speaks Spanish, so that would track.
Okay.
That's how he's able to follow that. Here's how much of a loser I am. I'm like, let's call Telly and ask him about this right now. That would be good content. Because remember that one time we reviewed the
muted this phone.
To me, the fucking funniest moment we've ever had on this show. We were 20. First of all, everyone that listens hates Telly, by the way. They hate him.
He's my favorite part of the show.
I know. They hate him because we like him. And that drives people crazy. We're doing it for the recently initiated to the show. We were reviewing one of just the real piece of shit movies of all time. Return of the
Howard the Duck?
The Dragon. It was the Revenge of the Dragon. Return of the Dragon. Enter the Dragon.
No, the Enter the Dragon's the good Bruce Lee one.
Bruce Lee one. Yes, I know.
The Last Dragon.
The Last Dragon.
Yeah.
And Telly claims he's an expert on that. He was such an expert that he knew like secret websites you could watch it for free on, whereas me and Ed paid for it.
That's right.
Then he comes on, and to come on the show, I send you a link, and then all you got to do is click the link. Like even Travis Rogers at his advanced age could do it. Now he can't lean close to the microphone and talk, but he can still click on and be there on the thing. Jason Stewart can kind of figure it out.
Kind of.
We had Telly do it, and Telly couldn't do it to the point. And this is how it comes back. We got to the point where he couldn't figure out how to do it so much that I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just call you on the phone." And I called him on the phone, but I didn't save his number. I just looked at my phone. I didn't save his number. Obvious reasons. But while we were doing it, while he couldn't hear us, before I called him on the phone, he was pretending.
He assured us that he could hear me.
Yes. I go, okay, are we good? Can you hear Ed? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. I can hear him. And then we're 20 minutes in, and every time you would talk, he was drunk and he would start talking over you. And I was like, Telly, can you hear Ed? You're just talking over him. And he goes, I'm sorry, fam. I can't hear Ed.
But like 20-something minutes in.
Yes, we were deep into the show. He thought he was going to fake his way through it.
So good.
So I want to know about this Montoya thing. Ed.
If you just Google right now, just Google Montoya reality or something, you'll see it.
I want to. Okay, hold on. What's the Denver prefix? 920? No. 801. No.
That doesn't sound right.
He hasn't called in a while. And I'm just seeing if I can look. I'm looking back through the old calls.
It's 303, 720, and 983.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see Dolomite calls in from 720.
They used to.
Before he died.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to go. Look, Telly, somebody get this mess, because Telly's not Team Current.
No.
I think he's more of a Trend Lightly guy, but that's okay. That's a good show.
That's fine.
So he could call it, and he likes golf shows, I think. So he likes Bob Does Golf, and he likes sports. What's the one? Barstool Sports Golf and stuff like that. But when he's done listening to those, he'll check in with this, and then Telly, call us 949-464-TBLS. Tell us what's up with this Montoya guy getting cucked, and why are you into that? Like, we get that that's a turn on for you because you like being pegged and you're into cuckoldry. So is that why you're liking it on Twitter? Let us know. Ed.
Yeah.
yesterday was the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And it was the most fucking boring Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl was playing, and it was like, look, it was great. Fuck the Chiefs. Nobody wanted the Chiefs to, we were all, what? You're a Chiefs guy?
I was certainly not cheering for the Eagles. I mean,
you
come on.
Not at all.
A division rival?
Yeah.
No.
Well, yeah.
So
sure.
The Chiefs,
and they knocked you out, and they fucking drubbed you. They drubbed your guys.
We don't have to belabor the point, but
I mean, they really just fucking smoked you. Not as bad as they smoked the Chiefs, but they really fucked you guys in that game.
There's only one team that's beaten the Eagles in the last 5 months, and that was my commies 3 days.
That's right,
Christmas.
but not in the playoffs where they got smoked by like 100 points.
Yeah.
Saquon was just fucking. He had like 250 yards. They fought up and down.
Commies kept fumbling, but anyway, rookie quarterback. We'll be back.
Yeah.
I would cheer for anyone versus the Chiefs, except for the Giants, Cowboys, and Eagles. So it was, but like my dad, who's a Giants fan, texted like, "What a terrible game!" And I go, "Dad, I had to suffer through 2 Giants versus Patriots games with Tom Brady. I've been through Eagles, Patriots, Eagles, Chiefs already. Like this is just what happens sometimes. I don't give a shit." Like
Well, I mean, because look, me and everyone else with Silver Point Sports, we like the Chiefs -1. Like that was the play. Everybody like that. That's where the sharp money was, Ed.
I
Chiefs
played that
-1.
But I also played 2 other bets.
Oh, tell me.
Tails never fails. Won that.
Of course. Won that. Yep. That's a 50-50 bet, but that's even money.
Touchdown scored Jalen Hurts, and they originally ruled Jahan Dotson draft bust for the commies that got traded.
Yeah.
And he was in, then his knee was down, and I was like, yes, here comes the tush push. Like it was the best. It wasn't the best odds for first touchdown score. It was 6-1. So like $5 got me $35. Yeah,
this is a copycat league. This tush push gets you 4 yards every time. It's not like a yard and a half.
Not a football play. And the previous
we got to just start doing 3 tush pushes. 3 tush pushes get you first down every time.
The NFC Championship, where Frankie Louvu kept trying to time the jump and jump over the pile, and then they're like, "We're just going to award points." If you're not going to let the players try to time the jump, then get rid of the fucking play. It's rugby. It's not. It's not football. Get rid of that fucking play.
Not. It's a scrum. They're scrumming. Anyway, it was super boring. And I was watching the Super Bowl at a bar with a friend of mine, and as we're watching Morgan Freeman, also the commercials. What are we doing with the commercials anymore? There's just it's just like everything's a little too much. You got Seal is a seal.
I saw a clip of Bill Burr on Conan talking about how much he hates Super Bowl parties. And I thought it was so perfect. He goes, I go to Super Bowl parties and people are talking over the game, and then it gets to the commercial break and they tell everyone to be quiet so they can watch the commercials. And he's like, I can't deal with, and that's how I am. And luckily I went to a buddy's Super Bowl party, and it was like 8 of us, and we just ate and drank, and it was wonderful, and nobody was talking. And then during the commercials, we talked because I didn't give a fuck about the commercials, so I didn't watch. But my buddy told me that they did a poll, and the thing that won best commercial was more Clydesdale. So, we're still with the horses.
I didn't even see that.
We're still with horses. Blah blah. Who cares? Who cares about Clydesdale horses?
Beautiful. They're huge, Ed, and they run through the snow, and it's they bring the beer wagon.
One time we're doing a promotional thing, I want to say 10 years ago in Hoboken. Yeah. They had the Clydesdales come down Washington Street.
Down the street.
One of the biggest shits I've ever seen in my life came out of a Clydesdale.
But they're 7 feet tall.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like the biggest horse.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest horse you can have. They're beautiful. Yeah. They're gorgeous. And look, Budweiser, that's America. That's what. Look, I wouldn't drink it. I tried to be cute one time, and I brought some Budweisers to play golf, and I almost fucking puked first sip. I'm like, oh guys, Budweiser. Yeah. I took a sip. I'm like, why did I bring this? This is disgusting. I can't drink this. But now the commercials are good. So I'm watching the commercials, and there's Morgan Freeman. I think Morgan Freeman's 89 years old. He's really goddamn old.
But he's been 89 for 35 years.
Yes, at
Since
least
the movie Glory.
And I'm watching it, and I'm with a friend of mine, and she says to me, she goes, "Hey, remember when Morgan Freeman was fucking his granddaughter?" And I was like,
best friend, right?
No, it was. So it turns out it was his stepdaughter, and I'm like, oh, that's a good thing for the show, or step-granddaughter. That's something we need to review here on the show. Let's go back and take a look at that.
So that's a thing that happens. What? Huh? You can't remember it at all. Don't think that I can recall. But that's a thing that happens. Did it really?
Did it really?
Can't remember if it's true. Don't recall it.
So in a very unlike me situation, Ed, I looked it up beforehand because I was like, yeah, what was up with that? That was kind of weird. Morgan Freeman was like in his 60s, and he was fucking his granddaughter, his step-granddaughter, who was like in her 30s, and then she got murdered.
What?
And I'm like, yes. And I'm like, what the fuck was up with that? So I looked it up, and much like Boris Becker's ejaculate, we've been sort of fed a bill of goods on Morgan Freeman fucking his granddaughter. He might have been fucked. Step. Oh, you might have fucked a friend too. Step granddaughter. But it turns out that we only think, well, according to People magazine, there were rumors that he was fucking the step granddaughter. But the main reason we think that is because the guy that murdered the step granddaughter said, "Oh, before I murdered her, she told me she was fucking her step grandpa, Morgan Freeman."
Was this deflection by the murderer?
Probably. Yeah. But the story says there were rumors of that this guy seemed to confirm, but we really can't go on that. I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say Morgan Freeman probably was fucking his step granddaughter. Yeah, but we don't really have any evidence of that.
We know what caged animals will do. You don't know. Like,
it's true. They'll tell you some
you're
shit,
about
right?
to go to the Gray Bar Hotel. You're going to take some swipes, see if you can get out of it.
Yes.
Change the narrative.
So, oh my God. So one thing so I was watching that, and I'm thinking, so I'm watching the Super Bowl, and I'm like, okay, looked up the Morgan Freeman. It doesn't look like it's true that Morgan Freeman was fucking his step granddaughter, or at least we don't have evidence of that. But one thing that there was a commercial. Lots. So imagine looking up at that, Ed.
It's not as bad as the cause, but it's a lot.
Yeah. But though, I mean, he's doing that voice, you know, and it's like it's such a nice voice. It's pleasant.
It is, but
yeah,
Shawshank is a great movie. But when you rewatch it, you're like, hey, with this guy, could he just shut the fuck up for a little while?
What's he talking about?
Like, they're drinking beers on the roof. And he's like, and Andy had the tastiest beer. It's like, we see him drinking in the fucking, we don't need you to tell me how tasty the beer. Those were the best beers we've ever had. Like, shut the fuck up.
Let the pictures tell the story.
Like, I promise you, Frank Darabont can tell us that they're enjoying it by just showing us them on a sweaty roof with tar, drinking a goddamn beer. And that was the sweetest cold gold we've ever had. Shut the fuck up.
And your Morgan Freeman is almost as good as your Johnny Depp. Like, we got to bring that back. So I'm going to say that the jury's still out. Okay. That's one thing that happened. But I was watching the Super Bowl, and delightful character actor Walton Goggins shows up.
Great character actor.
And he's doing a commercial for GoDaddy, which is look, I'm not buying a website for GoDaddy just based on, I don't do business with anybody that calls their company that. That's a disgusting name. And I don't like, that's just not.
EasyAdDaily.com might have business with GoDaddy, but
they're probably running a special.
I was shopping for the best deal, and when I launched the thing, that was it.
That was the one. That was the one you knew from the commercials. Yeah. But on this GoDaddy commercial, excuse me, beloved character actor Walton Goggins was talking about his company that he's got a website for, Walton Goggins Goggle Glasses. And I'm like, and then he's wearing these like Oakley looking weird glasses that like strap to your head. And I'm like, oh, that's a funny like bit for the show. And somebody's like, no, I think that's real. And so I looked it up, And Walton Goggins Goggle Glasses is absolutely a fucking real website that sells these glasses.
I'm looking it up.
With the
Whoa!
reputation, yes,
They're
yes.
blades.
They're $150
Wow.
to have Walton Goggins Goggle Glasses. Is this like Is this something that was known before the Super Bowl? Because I'm just out of the loop on
I
shit.
feel
And
like
also,
they
do I need-
launched this for the commercial.
I think so too. With a reputation for playing gunslingers, morally bankrupt preachers, and literal ghouls, Walton Goggins has long been a scene stealer in all these shows. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. And he's been stepping out on the red carpet lately with a particular set of sunglasses with a bold look that's part cycling sunglasses, part ski goggles. The brand? Walton Goggins Goggle Glasses, of course. It's real, Ed. I mean, it's an insane name, but it's funny as shit. And as you know, it's not so different from Baby Billy's Bible Bonkers. Goggins explains the design, which features ski goggles style straps that can be swapped out for arms, was inspired by his love of skiing. 5 colorways are available, Ed, and they retail for $150 each. I mean, do I need some of these, Ed?
You definitely could pull this off. I don't wear sunglasses that much. I just have
Yeah.
I wear like imitation Ray-Bans every once in a
Yeah.
while. That's all I do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not wearing something strapped around my head to walk down the street. I've been going sunglassless lately because I feel like it's good to get the sun on your face, but these are pretty sweet. There's one called Mama Skillet, La Tortuga, one's just called Blue, Cumulonimbus. Like these
Those
are
are all
kind of
good names.
Limoncello?
It's all good names. La
All good names.
Tortuga,
And
Turtle. Come on.
yeah, you can take off the straps and put arms on these Walter Goggins Goggle Glasses. Ed, you know where you need these is when you're riding your bike out there
there's a like a
on the
small
streets of
stretch,
Manhattan.
small stretch by me. Like I don't remember exactly. Maybe it's like July where the gnats come out. Like
Oh yeah, disgusting.
and that's
Hit
when
your
you
mouth.
need the blades.
Yeah, gnats. Yeah, it's when that humidity kicks up.
You get it in the eyes. You're blinking out gnats
Yeah,
for like
yes.
a mile. It's brutal.
Yes. Yeah, you might need to get some Walton
I might.
Goggins Goggle Glasses,
might.
Ed. Yeah, they're pretty pricey, but they look cool. So it's kind of worth
Right.
it, you know?
It's worth it.
Okay, speaking of worth it, let's talk about some people who died.
Just tell us who is dead now. Who died? Who died? Breaking news. Update. Who died? Just tell us who is dead now. Who died? Who died? It's a sad segment, very sad. And it will not be an update on who's alive.
Nope.
Let's get a tragic update.
Tragic update.
Cause Ed Daly has been keeping up on who just died. Cause we're
Yep.
about to hear from Ed.
Yep.
Which celebrities are dead. So tell me who died. Who died? Who died? Who died? Tell me who died.
Ed, who fucking died this week?
Of course, I didn't do any research on this segment.
Tell me.
But
Yeah.
we lost.
Why is that different?
No, I kept what I always do, but
Oh, yeah.
we lost
Yes.
Dick Duran, Bears and Bills head coach, 74 years old. Without doing the research, I feel like this dude was in the Wayne Fonts or Denny Green zone, like 7 and 9 to 9 and 7. I feel like he was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Dick Duran coach team.
Yeah.
They're gonna battle their way to a 7 and 9.
Never had a 10 and 6
Right?
season.
They just feel like he was in
Yeah.
the Denny Green, Wayne Font zone.
Yeah, likely. Also, I feel like he was one of those guys that was considered super old when he was a coach, like in the 2000s.
Yeah.
And I'm looking right here, and he died at 74
Right,
years
74
old.
now. And I was thinking,
Yeah.
he probably coached 10 years ago. He hadn't coached in like 20 years. It's been a while.
Yeah.
He was
And
like
old as shit.
So he was
He
in
was in
his
his 50s.
He was early 50s when we knew about him. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Dick Duran. Yeah.
Tony Roberts, Broadway and frequent Woody Allen movie actor, 85. He was a very good character actor.
Yep, he was always in
Like
those
Annie
Woody Allen
Hall,
movies.
shit like that.
Yep. Yeah, he's the friend.
Yeah.
He's always the friend.
Always the friend.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Virginia McCaskey, Chicago Bears owner, 102 years old. At least it can get the conversation started about the dangers of meth. I feel like, you know, if Virginia's going to pass away, at least her death can be for something special. 102 years old. All right.
Yeah, she was real goddamn old. It seems like these NFL owners always fucking linger like late into like. Is it because of the baby blood or what? I mean, they're rich as fuck. But not all rich people live forever.
It's almost as if you have too much money, you just can get access to shit that the regular people don't get.
Right? They'll just keep injecting you with shit, propping you up. Yeah, it's great. It's capitalism.
R.I.P. Cultita? Is that how you say it? Cultita Woods?
Yes, so.
Tiger's mom, 80 years old.
Yeah.
Speaking of cuck.
Yeah. He had to do that. He had to do. His dad was doing.
He was taking Tiger out for lessons.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he'd be getting. He'd be entertaining cocktail waitresses in the Winnebago while Tiger was hitting 7 irons. Yeah, but also his mom was right there in the front row when he had to do that. I'm so very sorry press conference.
Much like Senator Larry Craig's grandchildren.
Yes,
when he's fucking in the bathroom and he's got the grandkids in front of him.
Yes. Yeah, you gotta show support, and it's like, I don't think they.
Grandpa was fucking a glory hole in the Minneapolis bathroom.
Yeah. He just had a wide stance, Ed. Yeah, what's the big deal? Right. No big deal. Yeah. Who else?
And then you sent me this one. Very sad. R.I.P. Aiden Manzano.
Yeah.
Sports reporter at the Super Bowl. I think he worked for like the Telemundo Kansas City station. 27 years old. Died in his hotel room. And a woman has been arrested after she was seen leaving the hotel room and using his credit cards. And I believe she has drugged people in the past.
Yeah.
And like she's done this, but like I don't think she had done murders before that we knew of.
Yeah.
But
it was she probably gave him something, like Xanax or whatever they give you, Rohypnol, to knock you out, and either she gave him too much,
or he
had a reaction
to it.
Yeah,
and just to sprinkle some extra depressing news on,
I know.
He leaves behind a daughter, but in case you were wondering if the mom's in the picture, she died in a car accident last year. So this is profoundly terrible.
It's really sad, and it just makes me like I don't partake of sex workers, Ed, thankfully. It's just not my thing, and it's okay if you do, but this is the kind of thing you got to be careful of, is that they don't have your best intentions.
The vetting process. Yeah, and I get it though, but this dude lost his wife. He's a single dad. I'm sure his daughter was taken care of back in Kansas City. He's thinking he's in Vegas. Yeah. A day before the press, the day where they're all meeting with the press and media day.
Exactly.
And he's like, I just got to get a release.
Been a while.
Get the poison out.
I'm grieving. I'm a single dad.
It wouldn't feel right for me to go on like full dates. So let me just, get the poison out professionally.
How about a transactional situation? Maybe, maybe if we didn't have to hide this.
Sex work, the oldest profession?
Streets, in the back rooms, it's legal. Like other things are legal. Other services are legal. But if those services are you can get a massage,
jacking up prices to help people live. We're allowed, legally allowed to do that.
Of course. Absolutely.
But sex work, the oldest profession. No, we might as well keep it dicey and on the fringes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. It's a very sad story. R.I.P. Let's talk some sports.
My name is Brian.
They call me the other guy. I host a podcast show. I'll give hetero life a try. If you see something on my hand that makes you think I'm not a man, it's just my cool rings, you see. They're as sparkly as can be. I'm my own Troy on DVD.
Ed, tell me, buddy.
Okay, Super
What
Bowl.
the fuck happened in sports this week?
Super Bowl last night. People had feelings about that halftime show, including SMU's football coach Rhett Lashley. He slammed the Super Bowl halftime show, saying "worst show ever."
Ed, everyone knows I don't follow sports. Matter of fact, no props to my buddy Matt, aka the Nooch, who will only listen to this in like a year because he's a proportional eater and he has to listen in order to the show, and he gets behind when he spends half the year listening to fantasy football mock drafts. Because he texted me last night, by the way, the Eagles beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, because he's making fun of me that I don't pay attention to what happens in sports, but that was pretty fucked up. But I don't know who this Rhett Lashley guy is.
SMU, they expanded the college football playoff. They made the playoff. Yeah. So you know, the reactions, it was almost like there was some sort of cultural divide in the opinion.
Well, I'm just gonna guess.
I'm guessing most of his players felt differently. Yeah. So, and the guys he's recruiting feel differently. Yeah. So, it's a bold move.
I'm just gonna guess that Rhett Lashley is a 40s-ish white guy. That's just based on his reaction to that Super Bowl thing. Yeah. I'm just gonna say 40-ish white guy. Am I pretty close?
Let me look up his age, because I think. And also Rhett Lashley.
Yeah, my son's girlfriend goes to SMU, and it's I don't get
he couldn't be more Rhett Lashley if he tried.
Yeah,
41 years old.
Yeah,
he's got thinning blonde hair.
Yeah,
he's very, very Rhett Lashley.
What? Like, why does Rhett is this a tweet that he did? Like, why is how about we save? Yeah, why don't we save the commentary on halftime shows for like Jay Stu? You know, like that's who I want. Like media or true media commentators like Jay Stu.
I believe Jay Stu and I are in agreement. We loved it. I thought it was great. And
I thought it was really good.
And I've seen things like I just watched it for like first go of it, and I liked it. And then there's so many layered things that I didn't pick up. You know, like the dancers that fell down and made a swastika sign when he was talking about America. Like there's a lot going on there.
See that?
Yeah, I'll send you a picture.
It was like American flag imagery, right, and like there was a lot of that. Yeah.
But my dad, Boomer, and he's not like, you know, conservative dude, but like he just like I didn't like that halftime show. I go, cool, you're in agreement with Matt Gaetz and Ted Nugent, and he was all mad at me for pointing that out.
But I don't know what you would like, why you would specifically. I mean, I know why they specifically didn't like it, but I don't.
I think my dad is
your genre.
My dad's just confused by it. And I did see like a tweet from like a black guy or a black woman. He's like, you know, you guys have been pumping Bon Jovi and Bruce Springsteen down our throats for decades. Like you can handle one show that's clearly not geared towards you. Yeah. And that's what it is. You either got it or you didn't, but I thought it was great.
Yeah. Yeah, they've had the Boss out there, Paul McCartney. They've had the Stones. They've had Tom Petty. They've had fucking the Red Hot Chili Peppers. There's been plenty of fucking Whitey McWhiterson acts that do the Super Bowl halftime.
Oh, they had like a group that was like popular for a couple years. Like, you know, they even have like flash in the pan white guys.
Imagine Dragons.
Yes.
Has Imagine Me Dragging These Nuts? Have they done it? Oh, you know who did it? Coldplay. Jason Stewart's favorite band, Coldplay, did it.
I think I was thinking of Imagine Dragons, like a band that like had a moment for a few years and whatever.
Yes.
It's like, you know.
Yeah. Who gives a fuck?
But I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
but
cool.
it's
It was
just,
well
I just
produced.
think, yes. And I just think it's crazy. And you saw,
Yeah.
and maybe everything corrects. The last few years, the guy who's been kind of really dying on a hill, Dabo.
Yeah.
Clemson
Oh,
football
yeah.
has fallen off in
Yeah,
recent
good.
years
Yeah.
because this dude is dying on that kind of hill,
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah, and they don't want to go play
Right.
for him. And his brother does kiddie porn
And-
or watches
and
it.
Rhett
You know?
Lashley, buddy, SMU
Yeah.
just arrived this year
Yeah.
in the weak ACC, and they got into the playoff. But like, buddy, you want recruits
Yeah.
and you want your players to stay there, maybe just be careful.
You don't want him to go play for Coach Prime,
Right?
Or somebody that's, a little less concerned about the Super Bowl halftime show. Like, get with the program, Rhett. What else?
I just found this was high comedy. Ex-Giants quarterback Eli Manning is at peace with not being a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I mean, he is going to go to the Hall of Fame. He is going to be.
He absolutely will make it. He absolutely doesn't deserve to make it. And the fact that he's at peace, Eli led the league in only one thing in his career: interceptions.
Yeah.
Never made a first or second team All-Pro. Yeah. He was at best like the 7th best quarterback in any given year. If you said the 7th best center, the 7th best middle linebacker of his era, nobody would be talking about are you at peace not being a first ballot Hall of Famer? It's crazy. Yeah. He's going to be a Hall of Famer because of his defense in 2 Super Bowls against the Patriots.
Yeah. And that one guy caught it against his head,
his helmet.
And Joe
David
Buck's
Tyree.
Like over the middle, caught. Yeah. And Mario Manningham down the sideline. Right. Like, look, but both of those Super Bowls were like 17-14.
Right. And the Patriots were the best offense in the league. And it's like, well, Eli gets the MVP, not Justin Tuck, who just destroyed the Patriots offensive line. It's just crazy. And people around here are like, man, can you believe Eli didn't make it? Like, yes, I've never thought of him as like when my shitty Redskins were going against the Giants, I was worried about a lot of things. It was never Eli. It was like, well, hopefully they can stop the run game or whatever. But like Eli was just a guy out there. He's gonna make he's gonna make the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
But the fact that there's even talk of whether or not he should have been a first ballot, we couldn't get Ichiro on every ballot. This fucking guy,
of course, Nolan Ryan. And look, a guy like Eli, like, there's probably a lot going on in the world that doesn't bother him too much. Like how to tie my shoes. He doesn't have to worry.
Flowers for Algernon kind of situation.
Yeah, like directions to the grocery store. It's like that. He's not too worried about stuff like that. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah, it's great. It's
proud of you, buddy.
We all can learn a lesson
from Eli. Just throwing it
simple,
throwing it and smiling out there. Half the time I went to the other team, but good for you, buddy.
I agree with you there, Ed.
A UMass student was denied $10,000 after doing one of those layup, free throw, 3-pointer, half court. Oh, yeah. He hit the half court shot at a women's basketball game, but because an insurance company reviewed the tape and said his foot was on the line, they denied it. Then there was a huge backlash, and then the school stepped in and paid him $10,000.
Wait, you're telling me that an insurance company found a loophole as a way not to have to pay some money that they owed?
I gotta say,
that's very surprising.
I don't.
Who's the CEO of that?
Yeah, I was gonna
company?
say I don't want to fall on the sword, but I just wish there were a few more Luigis out there.
There are. There's gonna be.
We talk about
enough about Luigi these days.
We don't talk about I don't usually love copycat killers, but like, these insurance companies. If I'm an insurance executive and a guy has a toe on the line, you're denying him $10,000.
You pay that.
$10,000. Insurance companies.
You pay that. It's nothing.
Tune into a sporting event and watch all the Allstate and Progressive ads. They have too much money. They have all the money and $10,000. Nobody's even blinking over $10,000, and they're gonna fleece some fucking UMass student at it. And so it was not the insurance company that stepped up. It was the school because of the bad
the
press,
school.
and they're like, "All right, well, our athletic department will find money for it."
Yeah, good. That's good. Good job, UMass.
Marcus
What
Camby's
else is going on? Oh,
alma.
yeah, Marcus Camby. Who's the other guy? Joe.
Well, Dr. J went there.
Dr. J did?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lou Rowe was like the stud back then, but like, yeah, he didn't become a
yes.
pro, like a good pro.
Yeah.
Final sports story of the week.
Yep.
Michael Jordan's son, Marcus, was arrested for a DUI, I believe in Orange County.
Oh, really?
His Lambo SUV was driving on the train tracks like it was Groundhog Day. And when he was being hauled away by the police, he complained about the music and I didn't realize cop cars are playing music when the guy's being arrested.
Well, don't they have to talk to their radio?
And he said, "Play some Mariah Carey up in this bitch." He was mad about that. This is like Lebowski saying, he didn't want to hear the Eagles.
Yeah.
Play some.
I hate the fucking Eagles.
Play some Mariah Carey up in this bitch. Brian.
Now, yes.
You would think with such a caring, attentive dad like Michael Jordan that he wouldn't be in crisis in recent years, but
well,
should we second guess the great Michael Jordan's parenting?
Yeah, I mean, also isn't Marcus Jordan? Isn't he banging Scottie Pippen's ex-wife?
I said this to a buddy last night at the Super Bowl party, and he said he thought they broke up. I thought they were like engaged.
I think they were, because I know that they were characters on the murder mystery reality show, The Traitors, a couple seasons ago, and they were together.
That show where every time I log into Peacock, I hear Alan Cumming being like, "Ooh, what do you think is?" It's like, no traitors.
He's the worst part of it. No, he's the worst. He's the worst. I don't even think he knows he's hosting a game show. It is, yeah. Well, yes. Well, let's hope Marcus Jordan gets the help he needs, and look, maybe Michael can reach out and give him a hand.
Hey, he was he's so caring with Kwame Brown when they draft. I could see how he's really kind for someone who doesn't measure up to his skills.
He's got those real yellow eyes these days. He doesn't look very healthy. He appears to have a problem with drinking too much alcohol, Ed. So maybe that's where Marcus Jordan
it's
gets
a reaction to having those giant jeans and suits with 9
the
buttons.
Whole denim, the Canadian tuxedo. Okay, Ed. Let's play some voicemails.
He's so easy to hate. Your time he likes to waste. His calls are far from great. His calls are far from great. He's such a stupid fuck. He seems down on his luck. His voicemails really suck. His voicemails really suck. No one's enjoying him. He's so annoying. Plus so fucking boring and worthless, but he's got nothing else to do. And he's even worse than ish. His thoughts are useless shit. He's fat and got big tit.
It's been quite a while since we've heard from old Manuel. You think he's still working the night shift?
Yeah, it's a night shift. You
can't call on a podcast when you're working the night shift. That's
how
for sure.
How could he possibly do that when he's working the night shift?
I haven't heard him call in to be completely glazed by the local hosts on the midday ESPN affiliate because my name doesn't come up on that show when he calls in, but he calls in and the Manuel gets treated like he's the king of Siam when he comes on that show.
Is he called Manuel or is it one of his other monikers?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, Jay Stu knows his other monikers, but all I've ever heard of him being called Manuel, except that one time that he called here and he listed a whole bunch of other names, and you and I
we're like, what?
Yeah, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, it's like Mike or something, or like Marty. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, couple of voicemails here.
Hey, ballers! It's Ben 906 here. Hey, I'm so glad you guys were talking about the Tom Green documentary.
It was great.
I watched that. I don't think I finished it. It's pretty long. Really good. You're reminded. I had forgotten, I guess, just what a cultural phenomenon he was.
Yeah. And
it was such a big deal, his show.
And like, I only knew him when he went on MTV, but when he was doing that shit as like a student in Canada, he was doing all the same shit. He was amazing.
Crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah. He was just going out there in the street and being fucking weird. He's a fearless performer and just has fucking great instincts. I was thinking it was probably really annoying to be friends with him, but he was great to watch on TV.
Well, if you think about it, and like we've talked about the links or the copying by the Jackass crew, to be on those movie sets and they're just walking up and shaving your hair and stuff, it would be really annoying.
Yeah.
But when you're watching it from the audience, it's hilarious. When a guy falls asleep on the set and they shave half his head, like, it's great.
Yes. It's so good. It's so funny.
Like, terrific people in life, and then there's like Tom Green in terms of what he gave to entertainment, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s. But it was great to hear a lot more about his story. Huge fan of Tom Green.
Yeah.
And he's got like 2 other shows on Prime, so I haven't watched those yet, but I'll check those out. But certainly was going to talk about this on the after show this Friday.
Oh, the after show.
Because I watched the documentary this weekend, but I met Tom Green in Lac de Flambeau, Wisconsin. Yeah, that's a real place.
Wow.
Lac de Flambeau. It's some wild ass casino in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. That goes without saying.
I wonder if Stephen Avery
when he was doing his stand-up tour across the country. So, really cool guy. Sat at the bar and just talked to us as fans for a long time. Pretty awesome guy.
That's awesome.
Nice. Time. So, yeah, Tom Green.
What a story.
Goat, king, legend.
Good dude.
You a baller.
Great story. Thank you for that, Ben. Here's another one.
Hey, fellas. I'm talking about Claudette this week, and y'all mentioned Drake and about him not showing his face anywhere. I wouldn't be.
Things aren't going like
last night was going to be a tough.
It might be over.
I actually am friends with a guy who works with like in the general production of his shows.
Craigslist 360.
No.
Okay.
Good dude. He's Team Drake, and I haven't talked to him in a while, but I can't imagine it's a happy. He's in Australia right now. I can't imagine it's a happy camp right now.
Yeah.
Like last night, and they teased it, and then you're like, "Wow, he's not really. They're not really gonna do this show." And then he looks into the camera, smiles, and he's like, "Yeah, we're doing this."
And everybody sings the line.
Oh,
Ed,
yeah.
and
at the Grammys, they did it. At the Super Bowl, they did it.
Yes. And I was in a bar in LA, and the fucking whole bar stood up and sung the line. It was like, it's there's not a lot of people going, come on, guys, it's Drake.
Come on.
Like, you're not hearing that.
I get it if you're buddies with somebody and like but like it was a beloved thing at both the Grammys and at the Super Bowl that like people have picked a side, and it's tough.
It's not Aubrey's side. Now he could respond by just dropping some bangers. Like
the crazy thing about that song was produced in 24 hours. The song that won him all the Grammys. There was a diss track against him the day before, and then he produced that, and it just has taken off.
Bam. Yeah, huge. Okay.
Completely surprised if he did show up in New Orleans. He got his start with Wayne and Cash Money, based out of New Orleans.
Wait, he wasn't in New Orleans? I thought he was. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else who's in Australia. Right?
Who, Drake?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he was saying this is last week. So LSU is saying what is speculating as to whether or not he's going to show up in New Orleans, which he doesn't seem like he did.
Okay, that's funny, hot boy, whatever. But anyway, he tied up with Wayne. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up and wants to have a little conversation with your boy.
You think so?
Yeah, since
he's Canadian.
Take him behind the woodshed with his song there. So anyway, the other thing. B, you said you're coming to New Orleans, right?
Maybe.
When you out this way, if you venture to the west of that, holler at your boy.
Okay, will do, buddy. Absolutely. Okay, thank you, LSU. Here's another one.
Brian, Ned.
Oh wait, that's no. Hold on, that's it. That one's for the Bachelor lifestyle. Oh, Jace, yeah, that was
David.
David Bray, who then I noticed left he followed his call up with a few minutes later an accidental call where he was talking to his dog a lot. Like he was trying to get his dog to come in the car or something. There's a whole long thing.
Get in the car, Bosco.
On there. Yeah. Jay Stu really fucked us on the Bachelor lifestyle last week because he was in New Orleans and there's Wi-Fi issues or whatever. I mean, he's still able to live tweet every fucking game he watches, but he can't produce content for the fans where we're trying to talk about what's going on this season on The Bachelor. Okay, a couple of emails this weekend. Hi, ballers. I had never heard of Dank DeMoss before last week's show, so I looked her up. She is a large woman. I saw a meme that I cannot find that says she should have called a fork lift, L-Y-F-T, and I thought that was pretty funny, but I wanted to share it with y'all. Also, I think my red circle is about to expire because can you ensure me that you will remove ads from from the paid version of the show for at least 95% of the episodes? I do that. I'm tired of hearing about Katherine Heigl's dog food company. Well, that sounds like a good commercial. Last thing, seriously, did Drew in Houston suffer the same fate as Marty Bird's business partner in the first episode of Ozark? I don't think he's called or emailed the show since he started working for the cartel. That's from Adam in Houston. Yeah, Drew in Houston has not called to let us know how rich he is in quite a while.
That's true.
Like it used to be a pretty regular occurrence, and we would like to hear from Drew. You okay? I think he is because occasionally he responds to my Insta stories, so I think he's still around. Thank you, Adam. We'll work on the red circle, possibly Patreon. Hi, Brian and Ed. I'm thinking of starting up a Baller Lifestyle pre-show podcast. Now, I know what you are thinking. There's already a Baller Lifestyle after show podcast. This would be a little different. I would only call in once a week to promote my new podcast as opposed to twice a week like the after show. The pre-show will mostly focus on Tony Romo tweets that continue to keep appearing on a weekly basis. I still need to find a co-host whose favorite team has a rodent for a mascot. I will keep you both updated on my progress. Any suggestions would be appreciated. Thanks. That's from our dear friend G-Fish. Okay, G-Fish. Thank you for that. Wait, what did he say? Oh, Ed. G-Fish sent me one of Jay Stu's tweets. He was tweeting about Tony Romo yesterday.
He wasn't even announcing.
The game was on Fox. He was still complaining about Tony Romo, despite the fact that Tony Romo was not even calling the game.
He was saying like something like, "Oh, the team with more points will win," or just something.
He can't get over that. Yeah, threes are less than sevens. If Tony Romo was there, like it was something he said like a month ago. He's just still obsessed with it.
Still chasing that white whale.
He really is. He's got it stuck in his craw. Dear Brian, congratulations. Oh, this is so fucked up. Congratulations on your new position as FBI director. While I understand that this is a serious role with significant responsibilities, I couldn't resist reaching out with a request. Given your new authority on power, could you possibly investigate the death of Dolomite? Perhaps start with those who grew tired of his limited jokes. Please keep us updated on any breakthroughs in the case. Thank you. That's from KS Fireslayer.
Do you look like that? Yeah. Oh, I'm looking now.
There's a picture there, Ed. I mean, look, I would never have a goatee. Look, I get a lot of lookalikes on this show, and a lot of them are like Gallagher, this guy, the great Baltimore comedian Stavros Halkias, and look, all of them except for the time that Ed's buddy Sarah DeMack said I look like Josh Gad, which I definitely do not look like Josh Gad.
Well, Sarah self-admittedly said he looks like Michael Wilbon.
Michael Wilbon, I know. I do. I look at this guy and I
kind of
do kind of see it. Okay. All right. Like, I don't know this guy's name. I don't know who the director of the FBI is now. But judging by his picture, Ed, he doesn't look qualified because he looks like me.
Wait a second.
Like somebody who looks like me.
Are you telling me, are you questioning whether someone is qualified?
I don't know his qualifications, but based on the fact that he has the same haircut and mustache as I do,
I'm old enough.
Looks way too tan.
I'm old enough to remember when I was concerned that Betsy DeVos wasn't qualified to run the Department of Education. And now we have the richest.
That was 8 years
Now
ago.
we have the richest man in the world just saying we don't have a Department of Education.
That's
great.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. Fun times.
Well, I don't know this guy's name, so I can't tell people to look him up, but just look up new FBI director, and he does look like me. Okay, Ed, let's do some not sports stuff.
Well, it's time for non-sports segment on the Baller Lifestyle Podcast. Non-sports. I'm talking about the segment now. Non-sports segment.
Ed, but before we get into it, before I forget, I just saw this, and I want to know what you think. People are not happy with Ryan Seacrest because he fucked some lady on the Wheel of Fortune for mispronouncing the word.
Because she
Wheel of
didn't
Fortune fans,
over enunciate like he does.
Yes. Wheel of Fortune fans drag Ryan Seacrest over pronunciation ruling. Robbed. Wheel of Fortune viewers are outraged after host Ryan Seacrest snubbed one of the players over the game's pronunciation rule. Earlier this week, contestant Arzise Salonga lost the game's first toss-up round that was worth $1,000. The category was event, as the two-word puzzle read AF space I space N space A. Oh, that was one word. Second word, space A space A space. The law student and single mother from Medina, Ohio, I believe that's in the Cincinnati area. Katie Shady, can you weigh in? Buzzed and answered.
Needed. We want population, demographics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shower us with details.
Need all the details. Yes. Buzzed and answered African safari, but was told she was incorrect. Another contestant, Brian Nelson. You seen a difference here, Ed?
I'm noticing something with the
between
names.
Arzise and Brian Nelson? Won the game with the correct pronunciation. Yes, safari is the way you have to say that, Seacrest 50 said. I just checked with our judges to make sure. Salonga pronounced the word as safari at the time. Fans quickly took to social media.
What a piece of shit.
To protest the ruling. Okay, here, let's play. Let's see how it went. We'll give our thoughts on this, Ed. Ed, Vanna's still out there doing it. Still, yeah. Sajak's gone. What's this? How much money does Vanna need? She's got all the money. I mean, it's a pretty easy job.
I wouldn't say it's the hardest job, but I would say
she's like 70 years old.
She's still got to move over to the letters. She doesn't have to turn them, but she still has to move to them.
I think she dabs them. I think she just touches them. Okay, let's hear this.
Ours is
African safari.
No.
I don't see any problem with that. Lasso,
Brian.
safari. Oh no! Oh, Ed's gonna be a real buzzkill for this Arise. No. Tell me, Ed.
I'm thinking back to the greatest game show host of all time,
Alex Trebek,
and he would be like, "Yeah, we'll give it to you." Like he would kind of let you know that he didn't quite like the pronunciation, but how many words? I mean, I've heard safari a lot of times in my life, but how many words have you said for the first time and you're like, I've only seen this in print?
That's right. That happens to me all
the
time.
It happens.
Autophagy.
It happens to me like once every couple of months where I drop a word and I'm like, I know what the word means, but I haven't said it. but whatever's going on in her life that she just hasn't said to far.
Safari.
Like,
she's from another country.
But
Ed.
what Trebek would be like, we'll allow it. He would just say that.
Yeah, then he would say it in a real snooty French accent because he knew how to speak French because he was Canadian.
Right, but he would like do that just as like a little tweak, like, yeah, we know you didn't say it right, so I'm going to tell you. But he would always be like, we'll allow it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We'll allow it. That's what he would say.
Dickhead.
Yes. And look, a bunch of J Stews weighed in. Lady just said Safari on Wheel of Fortune. The puzzle was African Safari. One person wrote on X. Who's live tweeting Wheel of Fortune, Ed? Is this
Can you
fucking
imagine?
real?
The only thing sadder than watching that Hangman show is tweeting about it.
Yeah, exactly. Wheel of Fortune just penalized a player for a minor pronunciation error. Everyone knew exactly what she was saying. She was robbed, IMO. This isn't the first time Seacrest, piece of shit, had a bizarre moment with a contestant. Last month, Seacrest was tackled to the ground after an excited contestant won $40,000 for completing the last puzzle of the night. Living Things was the final category, and contestant Daniel Thomas chose the letters H, G, D, and O after being left with G, space, ES. The Wheel of Fortune contestant beat the buzzer and correctly guessed Guppies. In a million years, I never would have guessed. See, this is where it kind of benefits you to have whatever Jay Stu or Eli Manning have, because you can like tune into this stuff real quickly. Whereas guys like me and you, it's not, we don't have it. Seacrest assured him, I'm good. After Thomas repeatedly asked him if he was okay. Look, the bloom is off the rose with the Seacrest. Like, Drew Carey, he had to replace Bob Barker. Now, Bob Barker was 100 years old, and he was a little gropey, he was a little squeezy, and but he wanted to spay and neuter your animals, and he had that skinny ass. That mic was so skinny,
like long mic. Does Drew Carey do that?
I think he might still do the skinny mic. The skinny mic was dope, dude. Like, that's got to live on forever. But people love Drew Carey because he's nice. He's delightful.
He's a likable sort, not some smarmy Seacrest.
That's right. Now the Seacrest, he could earn that love, but you can't fuck people over on Safari. That's how people say it. Safari.
I might only call it Safari from now on.
Yeah, call it Safari. That's a better way to say it. I appreciate that, Ed. Okay, Ed. What is going on?
One thing that I want to revisit the Drake thing.
Oh, let's go.
I've said I like some Drake songs. I don't like all songs. I don't like all Kendrick songs. But I do find it funny. Just like Tupac and Biggie, people feel they need to take a side. This isn't your beef. Just it's bizarre that people are like, oh, I'm a Tupac, I'm a Biggie guy. I can't. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, they're both awesome.
You can just
Tupac and Biggie were both great.
You can just like what you like. I like some songs from certain artists and hate others from the same artist. Like, we don't have to choose. Yeah. We're not taking sides. We don't get paid if one guy wins this battle.
Right.
It's just bizarre.
Yeah, we all just get along. I agree with you.
I just find it funny that people think that they are part of the sides. Like, nobody cares about you.
Ed, you should stand in between Drake. You should broker a peace like we did with Telly and the dear departed Dolomite. R.I.P. Dolomite.
I don't particularly care if one side wins, which we've kind of said, like, but it's just funny that people feel they need to take a side in any feud between artists. Who gives a shit?
I agree with you. Who gives a fuck?
Cocaine is, quote, no worse than whiskey.
Yeah.
Would be, quote, sold like wine if legalized, says Colombia's president. Brian, do you think he's got some sort of bias in this fight?
Yeah. I've had some 4 a.m. Internet searches in my life that would challenge his opinion as to the which is the safer drug, because look, they're both bad. They're
not good for you, but when I have some whiskey, and I do from time to time, I'm not
Yeah.
pitching business ideas.
You're good.
I kind
You're
of
good.
just retract and just like chill.
Yeah. I abstain from both. And I would suggest everybody do that. I will say, if we decriminalize things, we do take much like we talked about the prostitution aspect earlier. This is a matter of personal choice. And if we take the bad guys out of the equation, that would, because people still have access to these things, like, how about we just make it a little bit safer?
Right.
But yeah, this guy, he's got a little skin in the game. He's the president of the country that makes all the fucking coke.
Well, we don't produce a lot of whiskey, but those coca plants,
plenty of it. So much.
What
else, Ed?
Maybe something that's more expensive than cocaine. $100,000, 100,000 organic eggs were stolen from the back of a distribution truck. Now in Pennsylvania, the egg situation is wild. Supermarkets just having empty shelves.
What the fuck is going on? Now they were gone, but then there was a flu of the eggs, whatever. But then they were gone, but then they were back. Now are they gone again? Because there was none.
It's hit or miss. So I just about every day, I would say 27, 28 days a month. Yeah. I have 4 egg whites with either spinach or broccoli in it. Yeah. But like to get, egg white, you take out the yolks, you need you need more eggs to like create.
Sure.
And so that means I'm going through a dozen eggs every 3 days.
Yeah.
And so I'm often buying eggs, and it's like I show up at the store and sometimes it's just all the shelves are empty. Disgusting. And the other day there were no dozen eggs, but on the bottom shelf there were 5 dozen eggs for sale, like packaged together.
Oh yeah, you buy.
And I bought the whole thing, and people were giving me dirty looks, like, "Oh, you're a fucking hoarder." I'm like, I don't know what to do. I want eggs, and
comes like this.
That's it. So yeah, I have a 60 egg. It costs 60 eggs. It was like a slight deal. I think it cost me like $39 for 60 eggs.
That seems pretty good. That seems pretty good because I buy the organic ones, and for at Costco 24 is like $8, but at the grocery store 18 eggs is like $11.
So a dozen 60 organic eggs, I think, is approaching $9 now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Now, let me ask you this: as a guy, because I will also do the whites. You don't buy they sell the whites in.
I've never done that. I go through.
Oh yeah, just do that.
I go through the thing where I take the spoon and I get it out. Like I don't do the.
No, buy the carton, Ed. It's because it's just the whites, and then because sometimes I want. I like a little yolk in there too. So I'll just fill the pan up with the whites and my spinach, and then I'll crack a couple eggs into it and mix it together. And you know what else I do with the whites is I put them in my smoothies, because it's so much bang for your buck on protein versus calories. Like, it's really worth it. But the reason I say that is because they're never out of the whites. I don't understand. Like, we're out of eggs, and there's no eggs, but there's fucking loads of cartons of the whites. And I get that they stay good longer in the cartons, so they were around before the bird flu, or maybe they come from a different place. I don't know.
Interesting.
But there's plenty of whites out there and no actual eggs. So it's,
4
look,
egg whites.
We got to look into
68
this.
calories.
Yeah. That's
nothing.
What else I've gotten into in terms of high protein, low calorie is fucking bone broth. And look, I know it sounds gross. It's melted bones or whatever, but it's like 40 grams of protein and only 150 calories in a serving. Hit your bone broth, eat your egg whites, and let's get the eggs back in the stores.
Also, I wonder
I'm out of them.
I wonder what those 100,000 eggs must be valued at.
Yeah.
And do you just buy Lucy's? Like, what are they doing with these things?
Yeah, this is like the Lufthansa heist of eggs. Like, they're out there on they're like selling them individuals, like they do with cigarettes.
What I bet it is they're working with restaurant supply people, because that's where If you're a
100%.
breakfast place, you
100%.
need eggs for eggs. You
Eggs.
need it for
Yeah.
pancakes. You need eggs for everything.
You need
So
eggs.
this
Yep.
is not
right.
the individual
French
consumer.
toast.
They're dealing with restaurant
Yeah.
wholesale.
Yeah. And everything, the margins at a restaurant, razor fucking thin. It's thin ass margins. Eggs go up a little bit and you're mostly selling eggs. You can't fucking charge more for an omelet every week. You're based on the price of eggs. The price of the omelet's the price of the omelet. Eggs go up. That's coming off your bottom line. You get a deal on those eggs. You get them coming in the back door. That's money in your pocket.
That's an extra $1 per plate that you're.
Could be. Right. Yeah, that's big money. Yeah, you're serving fucking who doesn't love a nice diner omelet?
I haven't been.
We don't have diner culture out here, like you guys are so lucky.
I haven't been in a hotel in a while, but like you get that omelet station.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything better than just? I'll take some of that. Oh, you know what? Throw some ham in there.
I just tell the guy go around the world. Todos, hit it. Give me everything. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if it's fucking bursting. Jeez. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Great.
So delicious. I agree with you. What else?
DUI suspect caught speeding at over 130 miles an hour said he was in a rush to see his cat.
Look. Was it
Look.
Paul in Tucson who's a cat owner?
If you look at the picture, he does look like the type that would be in a mad rush to go see Mittens.
Yeah. That actually is Paul's cat's name, by the way, which is crazy.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Every cat is Mittens. I call every dog Bosco and every cat Mittens.
Oh, wait. No, I'm wrong. It's Muffin. His cat's called Muffin. An accused drunk driver pulled over for going 130 in Connecticut, fake place, interstate.
The Nutmeg State.
So this is some finance dickhead. Logan Murphy-Mazar. Whoa, Muzaffari. You got to shorten that, dude. Ellis Island.
Ellis Island.
What are you doing
You're
over
Murphy
there?
Now?
Yeah. Yes, Muzaffari, 28, was cuffed by state troopers just after midnight Saturday after he was caught flying down I-395 in a Kia. Ed?
I didn't think they could reach 130.
130 is fast. Like that Kia would be vibrating.
Right. That's like re-entry on the space shuttle movies where the guys are coming back and there's like sparks coming back.
Yes. When the trooper asked why he was driving so fast, Murmo Zafari explained that he wanted to get home to see his cat. This guy looks like he does serial kills, Ed, so this makes sense.
We've lived long enough that we've seen tons of DUI photos. They're never like this. Yeah. There's usually you see someone disheveled. This guy looks like he's seen dead bodies in the past 6 hours.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. Look, he's like, what I'll do is I'll tell him I was in a hurry to see my cat. Then they won't look for the head and hands in my trunk. Don't mind the hefty bag in my trunk. I'm headed home to see my cat. No big deal. And the cops are like, oh, fucking cat guy. Let's get this guy the fuck out of here. While speaking with Murmo Zafari, the trooper began to observe multiple signs of impairment. State police said nothing, noting the smell of booze as well as the driver's glossy eyes and slurred speech. Murma Zafari was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs and reckless driving. He was released, $500 bond, and he got home to see his cat. Good for him. Anything else, Ed?
Wow. A late addition to the story.
This was sent to us by listener Tommy. I can't remember who now. Tommy, thank you for the story.
Identical twin pleads guilty in fatal Amish buggy crash.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, it's a great headline. Secondly, look, what are we doing? What are we doing still with the twins? Have we talked about this, Ed? I've been saying this.
This truly is the evil twin. Because she tried to blame her sister.
She tried to,
and they go evil twin in the sense that one has her hair parted to one side, one has it to the other, one has bleached her hair. This is crazy. This is evil twin.
And this is the hair parting. This is like Tyler and Taylor Rogers. These are fucking mirror image twins.
So
identical twins.
Last year at the trade deadline, the Orioles traded for a pitcher named Trevor Rogers. It's like, oh no, did we get one of those weirdo twin guys? But no, he's just a mediocre guy that lasted like 2 starts and then got sent to the minors.
The identical twin sister accused of trying to take the blame for her sibling by lying to investigators after a deadly Amish buggy collision in southeastern Minnesota has entered a guilty plea. I did, Sarah Beth Peterson said during Tuesday's settlement conference. I lied. Peterson is accused of misleading investigators after the morning crash of September 25, 2023. She was charged in February with 16 felony counts relating to aiding an offender and taking responsibility for criminal acts. Peterson pleaded guilty, blah, blah. The 36-year-old Peterson and her identical twin sister, Samantha Jo Peterson, are accused of attempting to switch places after Samantha's SUV struck a 2-wheeled horse-drawn buggy in Fillmore County. I don't want to say that part. She was crying. She was panicking. She was scared. The other girl wasn't there. She just came. Sarah Peterson said in court that once she got to the scene of the crash, her sister told her she didn't see the buggy while driving over the hill. Samantha Peterson then asked Sarah Peterson to tell law enforcement that she was driving. At first, I said no. Then she made a comment saying she would go to prison for a long time. Witnesses who first arrived at the crash, she's very manipulative, Ed, told a Fillmore County Sheriff's captain that they saw a woman they presumed had been involved in the collision talking on her phone. Later, a woman appeared at the scene who looked similar to the first woman but was wearing different clothes. There's no way we could ever know the difference. They could ever know the difference between the two of us, so they can't tell.
No, you can't tell because they have their hair parted on the opposite sides. But the one has her hair bleached, and the other one's like a dirty blonde. Yes. One is like bleached blonde.
Yeah. Yes. No, I agree with you. Samantha Peterson also used her phone to search the internet for what happens if you get in an accident with an Amish buggy and kill 2 people.
I love the internet searches. How do you dismember a body? Like whenever people do that, it's like, you fucking idiots.
How to lock an infant in a hot car. How to lock an iPhone cops have. If you hit a buggy, this is her search, Ed. If you hit a buggy and kill 2 people, are you going to prison?
That is awful. But maybe this should be the wake-up call also for the Amish community. Hey, we have several 1,000-pound vehicles. Maybe we're supposed to not be traveling with our horse and buggy.
Well, they put those reflectors on them, Ed.
Right.
And I'm told the Amish make fantastic baked goods.
Yeah, I can imagine a good farmer's market.
Yeah.
But do you think
pies?
Do you think at the crime scene somebody came with their ice cream cone and rubbed it on their noses, like in Witness?
Maybe, possibly. Look, it's a closed community. Maybe Amish Dave's fiance could reach out to us and tell us what's going on, because they're not too far from this. Okay, let's wrap it up there. Hold on, we gotta get right back to the right page here. Let's wrap it up there. We talked about Ryan Seacrest being a huge piece of shit.
If you take away anything from the show, it's that he's a huge piece of shit.
That's all you need. It's Safari, Lasso. For Ed Daly, my name is Brian Beckner. This has been episode number 562 of the Baller Lifestyle Podcast. We will see you next week.
Hell yes, the Lifestyles Baller podcast getting bigger and not smaller. Broadcasting weekly. That's what
see you, buddy.
See you, bud.
With easy and daily.
Have a good night.